Right folks, it's about 12 degrees and 5:45 in the evening on the 6th inspection day, if you like, the Saturday. So we're back here at Apiary 2. My little robin mate's going mad in the hedgerow here, trying to over sing the train noise. So the wind's coming in from the southwest. I don't know whether you can hear him. Anyway, the point of this is, this just takes a little bit of the vibration out. So this, I wouldn't put them on sponge if I were you, because if the colony bounces it will go over. But I just put something between the hard floor of the van. Yeah, okay, I've gone soft in the head, but I just do it. It saves jarring them and banging them around too much. So I've got another wheelbarrow from my mate Dave, another purple beer voucher. Paid for a whole new wheelbarrow now. Never mind, he's a good mate, helps me out a lot. So yeah, we'll just walk down there, he says, and have a look, see what we're up against. And you will see, I've already been down here. You'll see that, you know, 6 o'clock is home time for this lot. So there are just a couple of bees in here, just doing the Naznov thing. You can just hear them. But pretty much all the flying bees are in now. Yeah, there's a couple there just doing the same thing. This colony have decided that it's definitely home time. So one of the reasons for having the floor ventilated is, when you're moving bees, is that you can just open this. I'm not going to move anything or touch anything until I've blocked the entrance up, and you can see why then. So you can either use this pipe lagging, or I've just found some old bits of sponge. I've cut a bit off into a sort of a wedge shape. How does that look? That way. So I mean, it doesn't have to be precise. So really just gonna wedge this in here. Like that. And they won't be able to get that out by the time we get there. I don't know whether you saw that. I'll move the phone around, sorry. So yeah, that's it. They're in. They're not going to disturb us, but I am going to leave my bee suit on when we transport them. So I was going to see if I could, I'm not quite sure what to do. I'll leave this sort of sat on the top of there if it doesn't fall off. Anyway, I'm just going to lift them up into the wheelbarrow and then we're off. And now you can see that was the bit I was trying to get the strap over the top of there. That's why it was such a nightmare, but now you can see why I made the effort to do it, purely because I wouldn't have been able to pick them up if it had gone underneath. Anyway, we'll go back to the van and I'll show you them installed there. Right, here they are in the van. There's plenty of air that can go in there. Then you're not going to suffocate them. It's 6 o'clock at night, 12 degrees. They're not going to overheat. And you'll hear a lot of people going, well, you got to put screen boards on and blah, blah, you got to let them, they'll overheat and they'll die and they'll this and they'll that. Well, again, the commercial boys who are moving bees around midday, all day, they're right. You know, they're moving around huge colonies to balance colonies from one apiary to another. They're doing all sorts of stuff. Again, this is such a tiny operation. It's a tiny little cluster in there, probably 6 frames maximum. they're not going to overheat in the journey time it takes to get to where we're going, which is half an hour. So that's why I like these ventilated floors, because you can, actually I will just take the whole thing out just in case, and then there's plenty of air going underneath there. Okay, and this just takes, this dust sheet just takes the bounce out of it, or the harsh vibration, like any hard banging. So there's the bit of sponge in there, and that's it. And all I would say is, you can see now I've spent a full day doing beekeeping, and now I'm back here. If you're going to start moving bees around, you need to have a reasonable commitment to time. You know, time is quite a factor in beekeeping, and it is like this every week, week in, week out. So don't get put off, and that's the reason for the channel. It's basically to show you, you know, when you've got to move them, you've got to move them. And if it, you know, if you're having your tea at 6 o'clock and it's getting dark, then you've got to go and move bees. So you do need to consider that as part of your overall thinking about whether you want to keep bees or not. So yeah, that's it. Just spare a thought for the Canadian boys, you know, who are still dealing with -degrees and snow, and you know, in England we get it so easy. So there you go. I can't film at Mark's because I haven't asked permission whether I can film or not, so I'm not going to show you the installation of these at his garden. But yeah, so this will be the end of the video. Yeah, I don't really like mentioning names or filming people unless I've asked them previously, and I haven't asked. So yeah, we'll go and install these, and yeah, I'll see you next week, no doubt. And I forgot to mention why I mentioned Canadian beekeepers, because the second one on my list of really good beekeepers to watch or follow, if you like, is a chap called Ian Stepler. He has a channel, I think it's called Canadian Beekeepers Blog. Yeah, look him up. Stepler Farms it is in, I can't remember which state of Canada it's in, or he's in, I should say. But he runs a huge operation. He's a leading light in Canada and, you know, North America really, on beekeeping. He's pushing these creatures who are really adaptable to the limit. You know, that they've got a very short season. He overwinters them in sheds, and yeah, it's quite an astounding feat of organisation, skill in terms of managing colonies, logistics, all sorts of things. He's a really upbeat and, you know, really highly intelligent bloke actually, who knows his stuff and is trying to push the boundaries, and you can see in real time, again, he's very down-to-earth fella, and he just shows it as it is, just like Cayman Reynolds does. So there's two beekeepers if you want to find more information out on, you know, the extremes of beekeeping. Yeah, Ian Stepler's a good one, and Cayman Reynolds of Tennessee's Bees. They're both really superb beekeepers, and I've watched them for some years now, and you do learn an awful lot of what you can get away with and what you can't. Anyway, there you go. There's a heads up for two people. There's another two to go yet.